Hey everybody, welcome to Hidden Horror. Thank you for spending this time with me. I appreciate that. Let's get started. Hey everybody. Hey everybody. Welcome to Hidden Horror. How you guys doing tonight? This is my second video and I want to give you a little update on what's going on with Ethan Crumbley. So I'm going to give you a little spiel on Ethan Crumbley and his parents, James and Jennifer Crumbley. Ethan Crumbley was the mass shooter at his high school, Oxford High School. He unalived 4 of his fellow classmates and he injured others. His parents, James and Jennifer Crumbley, they were charged with involuntary manslaughter, and they both were convicted in individual trials, and they both were sentenced to 10 to 15 years in prison. Now, Ethan Crumbley, he pled guilty in December of 2023, and he was given a sentence of life without the possibility of parole. Now, Ethan Crumbley is going before the judge with his appeal, and he has a couple of different issues. But the issue I'm going to talk about tonight is he wanted to get his parents' confidential pre-sentence reports because he felt like there may be something in there that he can use as he's going through his appeal process. But both his parents individually said no. If he wants to talk anything pretty much about his childhood, his past, anything he feels that he happened, he can do it on his own. There's nothing stopping him from expressing whatever he felt about his childhood, but they were not going to help him, assist him by providing those confidential pre-sentencing reports. The pre-sentencing reports can cover numerous things, but mainly he's looking at any negative experiences, any negative upbringing, any unhealthy upbringing, any type of abandonment, abuse issues, drugs or alcohol use, anything negative that he could use and bring up to suggest and demonstrate that this is what led him to this mass shooting. He has these mitigating circumstances of why he should not be receiving a sentence of life without the possibility of parole. He wants to get out one day. He's looking ahead. He's looking towards his future now. Even though he said at his own sentencing, make the families happy, make the families feel safe. You know, I did this, nobody influenced me, I'm taking responsibility, and I want the families, the victims' families, to feel safe, give them whatever they want. But he doesn't feel like that now. You know, short few months down the road, he's appealing and he's saying, no, well, what about me? Consider me, hear me. Don't forget about me. Don't leave me locked up all these years. I did this at 15. I'm 18 now. I have a long time to serve. And one day, possibly, I want to get out. I want to be free to come back into society. And this is his way of doing it, right? He has nothing but this to fight, as well as both his parents, James and Jennifer Crumbley. There is definitely an expectation that they're going to appeal those sentences, those guilty verdicts. I don't think they're going to get anywhere with those appeals, but you never know, right? You never know. They're going to try. So let's go over the article and discuss it all. The article is in freep.com. It's written by Tressa Baldes. It's dated May 22nd, 2024, and it's titled Judge Delivers Blow to Ethan Crumbley, Sides with His Parents on Appeal Issue. Okay? In a what goes around comes around moment, a judge denied Oxford High School shooter Ethan Crumbley's request to access his parents' confidential pre-sentencing reports, much like when he refused to let his mom and dad use his medical records to help them in their historic trials and subsequent prosecution. So they're saying what comes around goes around. Ethan Crumbley, when your parents asked you to use your medical records, your past medical history, you said no. So now that you're appealing and you want to view those pre-sentencing reports to see what was in them, now they're saying no to you. Both of them individually said no because he has no legal right to them, right? So he can only ask for them. Just like they had no legal right, no standing to use his medical records in their individual trials. They had to ask for permission. He said no. And now, like they said, what comes around goes around. Let's continue. In a 3-page ruling Wednesday, Oakland County Circuit Judge Cheryl Matthews sided with lawyers for James and Jennifer Crumbley, concluding the shooter has no right to his parents' confidential pre-sentencing reports, which contain personal details about their lives. The teenagers' appellate lawyers wanted to use the reports to potentially reduce Ethan Crumbley's life without parole sentence, maintaining his childhood and family life had not been thoroughly investigated before his sentence was handed down in December. The parents' pre-sentencing reports, the appellate lawyers argue, contain information that is irrelevant and necessary to the shooter's appeal. It might mitigate his sentence. Those reports include, among other things, information about the parents' drinking habits, psychological issues, prior brushes with the law, and family life. Lawyers for both James and Jennifer Crumbley argue in court documents that if the shooter's new legal team wants more information about his childhood, then the shooter is capable of providing that information himself. The judge agreed. For the reasons stated by counsel for the parents, the shooter's motion is denied, Matthews wrote. The ruling comes months after a similar scenario played out in Matthews' courtroom, where the shooter's mom and dad made history as the first parents in America to be held criminally responsible for a school shooting committed by their child. During their trials, James and Jennifer Crumbley had hoped to use their son's medical records to defend themselves against claims that they ignored his mental health issues and bought him a GUN instead of getting him help. But Ethan Crumbley refused to waive privilege over his medical records and refused to testify at his parents' trials, which ended with both parents being found guilty of involuntary manslaughter for the deaths of 4 students murdered by their son, Madison Baldwin, 17, Tate Meir, 16, Justin Schilling, 17, and Hannah St. Juliana, 14 years old. 6 other students and 1 teacher were wounded. James and Jennifer Crumbley were both sentenced to 10 to 15 years in prison. They are both appealing, maintaining they never saw any signs that their son was mentally ill, that they had no idea of his plan to shoot up his school, and that the GUN at issue was not to be used freely by their son, but was hidden in a bedroom armor unloaded with the bullets stored in another location. Ethan Crumbley, who was 15 years old when he carried out his rampage on November 30th, 2021, pleaded guilty last year to all his crimes, admitting he wanted to terrorize the school community and witness the suffering of his victims and their families. At his sentencing, he said his parents were not to blame and asked the judge to give the victims the justice they asked for. He is now appealing his sentence with his new legal defense team, arguing his family and home environment may not have been properly investigated or considered when the punishment was handed down. Okay, that's the update on the Ethan Crumbley, James and Jennifer Crumbley cases, their criminal cases. Um, Ethan Crumbley is now 18 years old. He was just sent back in April after his 18th birthday to a regular prison facility for adults. He is put into special protective custody because of his notoriety, and that helps him stay safe, which is good. So we don't want any harm to come to him, but he has nothing but time to appeal this and to hope one day that he will be able to return to society. Um, I'm not surprised. I don't think anyone is surprised. I hope the families of the victims are not too upset. This is really to be expected with him and both his parents. So please don't be upset. We are keeping you, the families, in our prayers and in our thoughts. And we wish you the best as you go day to day, rebuilding your lives. We wish you the best. We send you love and peace. Okay. So thank you for spending this time with me. Please remember, stay smart, stay safe, stay savvy. Be well, all my friends. Bye, everybody.